Alrighty, how you doing? My name is Chance Miller. I am doing this nice little speech for Communications 210 under the instruction of Mr. Thomas Ramos. And I would like to talk a little bit about culture today. And actually, I'm going to focus on a couple of, I'm going to focus on a subtopic of culture known as high culture and popular culture. I'm going to focus on those a little bit throughout my speech, and I'd just like to start off by asking a couple of questions, if I may. Do you like opera or maybe attending a heavy metal concert? Do you like reading a book on poetry, or are you keyed into gossip columns, or maybe you like horse racing, or maybe you like going to the racetrack to see a NASCAR event. Well, sociologists would like to term those things as high culture and popular culture, and it's not actually too difficult to imagine that what is considered high culture in today's society was actually popular culture or pop culture back in the Renaissance or Elizabethan era, right around the time of William Shakespeare. And, it's one of those things where now today, if you were even to bring up something from back in the Renaissance era, like the Greek play of Antigone, a lot of people in today's world probably wouldn't know what you're talking about unless you belong to the financial elite. A lot of people today, a majority of us actually are not so well schooled in those types of culture. We don't know very much about Shakespeare or Antigone or Hamlet or or Mozart's Requiem. A lot of us wouldn't know of that today, and because we don't know about that, the select few that do are usually got a lot of money to throw, and they don't. Those things are considered beyond our reach. Whereas the lowbrow or pop culture is actually one that's more widely accessible to the masses, such as myself and any other college student, or even youth, or sometimes those of low income, middle age, but nothing close to being rich. And for us to actually be able to experience that, it definitely shapes our perception, and it shapes our opinions and our feelings. Because a lot of us can get into a sporting event. We can find, even on some level, we can find some common ground. A lot of us would talk to each other about our favorite sports teams, and even if we don't agree, we'll get into a spirited debate. But if I try to engage you in a play by a poem by Samuel Taylor Coleridge called "The Rime of the Ancient Mariner," you probably wouldn't have any idea what I was talking about, unless you were an Iron Maiden fan, and they actually did a song on that. So that's kind of an example of where highbrow and lowbrow have kind of actually found a common ground. And just that, but that's what we see in today's society, is a lot of the lowbrow, and we find a lot of comedians that we find a lot of entertainment with the lowbrow culture, because it's more readily accessible, and we ourselves are entertained by that sort of thing. And that's kind of how we roll in society, I guess is the term for it. And I don't know. I've never really engaged in any type of small talk with anybody at a water cooler or a grocery line, but you can only imagine that that if I were to do it, I wouldn't be speaking to anybody about even some of the more high class segments of society. And that's pretty much all I got to say. But I just want to leave you with a question. How long do you think it would be before maybe the movie Star Wars or any of Quentin Tarantino's flicks become considered elements of high class culture that only the cultural elite will talk about? And that's pretty much all I got to say.